Okay. Hi, I'm Andreas, and this is my video out. I'm originally from Maine. I have it tattooed on my body. Yeah, I grew up there in like just a teeny little town called Farmington, filled with like farms and cows and deer and trees and stuff. Then I graduated high school a year early, and I had just turned 17, and I moved straight to New York City just to like start pursuing my dreams of being a performer. Because I was like also the only gay kid basically in my town too, and I came out when I was 12. So like I'd always just kind of known like what I wanted to do and like where I wanted to go, and I think I have always had a good idea of just like who I am deep inside. So yeah, but I'm from Maine and I love it now. I mean, clearly it's tattooed on my body. Like I'm obsessed with it because it's so beautiful. But that kind of came after I left and then had more time in New York to like be me and like just feel kind of more like I was actually pursuing what I wanted to pursue and living the life I wanted to live. And then I can like go back for a visit and enjoy the nature and the peace and quiet away from New York City, you know? I always knew I was gay, you know? I mean, I feel, and it's like when you're a little child, you don't quite have the words for it or the understanding of like exactly what that is, but I always just knew who I was and that was a part of me, that I was just like, oh, I'm attracted to men, you know, and like it's just deep down in me, like that's who I am. And but that's obviously so hard to come to terms with and to realize that you are so different from everyone around you as well, especially in those formative years where, you know, bullies are a thing and like gossip is a thing and small town mentality is a thing that you have to deal with as a child. So, but I mean, I just have always wanted to be true to myself, you know, and live the fullest life I possibly can. So that's why I just felt like I didn't want to hide anymore or, you know, hide any aspect of who I am, because, you know, that's no fun. So I was 12 years old, and like my mom was saying goodnight to me one night, and I had already written out a letter, fully prepared, just kind of like saying my piece of, this is who I am, I love you so much, you know, thank you so much for everything you've always done for me. And so like I was hugging her goodnight, and I was just like, I have something to tell you, but like, I'm just gonna tell you, and then don't say anything or whatever, don't do anything, but I just wanna tell you. And then I just was like, I'm gay. And she said, I know. She's like, because I mean, she's my mom, you know, I think something deep down in her obviously knew that that's a part of me, because she's the one who raised me to be this like colorful, unashamedly silly, vibrant, whatever human I try to be, you know? I mean, she would literally like lace me Ariel wigs so I could be Little Mermaid out of like yarn and orange sacks that like oranges come in, you know? And like I'd be dancing in my living room to Cats, the musical, and she would like paint her face with me. So needless to say, she knew in a way. And but then I gave her the letter too, and it was definitely a journey to go through with her, and it still is with my family. But in general, they were very supportive of my coming out. She was also, though, my middle school French teacher at the time. So I came after her at home, and then I had to see her in school every day, and then at home. So it's like I didn't really have a place to kind of escape the home life either, and she did struggle with it for a while. So that was a kind of rocky time. But yeah, she came to terms with it, and now we mainly just kind of focus on the love aspect of our relationship, because there is a lot, like she's very, very religious, very Catholic, so that can be a cause for kind of dispute or just lack of true understanding or connection. But above all, we just love each other so much, and she is my favorite human in the whole wide world. So I focus on the love aspect of our relationship, you know, and just choose love, because life is too short, you know. I don't want to be an old person and then regret ever having bad feelings or a grudge or anything to my family just because of something like this. So yeah, we just choose to love. What I'm learning as an adult now too is that there's so many adults around us who are still afraid to be themselves, you know? And so I would just encourage a young person to really embrace who they are completely. And if you're a rainbow fish surrounded by black and white ones, be a rainbow. That is beautiful. That's exciting. What makes you different makes you magical, you know? And that's what I try to live every day of my life too, and remind myself. So yeah, I would tell him to just keep being awesome and keep being himself, and to not feel like he needs to be anything for anyone else, not to change himself or cover any part of his personality, because he's beautiful just the way he is, you know? Yeah. I want everyone to be comfortable being whoever they are, and sharing as much of themselves as they are comfortable with the world. But for me, being gay is definitely a huge part of who I am, but it's also just a sliver of who I am, you know? So I think that, yeah, I would love for everyone to come out, come out and play, because why not just be who you are? And then, I mean, just to also, I also just hope that it can inspire future generations to know that being gay, if a child were to see two men holding hands on the streets of New York or something, for that not to even be a weird thing or anything at all, you know? And I think that will come when people are just free to be themselves and to come out freely, and for it not to even be a big deal, you know? It's please just be you, and yay, you're you, that's awesome. And that's kind of all it even needs to be, I feel like, you know? But I do think for the people who are brave enough to live fully as themselves, that will only inspire and enlighten others, you know, which is good. My favorite part about being me? Wow, that's an interesting question too. Yeah, I would say my favorite part about being me, Andreas, is that I really do try to live just for love and for goodness and positivity and light and kindness, you know, and like that's all that really matters to me at the end of the day. And with that said, it just gives me, I feel a lot of freedom in my life, to be honest. And I have friends who I'll talk to who I realize like perhaps they're not at the point where they do feel free to just like be whoever they are, no matter who that is on any given day. Like I'm not really like ashamed of any aspect of my personality. Like I love that I love Disney princesses and like going to watch Incredibles 2, and that like I love dance parties with my friends and like having a frozen margarita on a sunny day, or like, you know, it's like, but people sometimes get scared of loving themselves, I feel like, because they fear judgment. And I do think my parents did raise me in a beautiful way of just like letting me be me. And as I've grown into an adult, that has given me a lot of confidence and freedom to just be me. And I think the freedom of that would be my favorite part about being myself, because I try not to judge myself too harshly or, you know, be too hard on myself or to others either. You know, it's like I just keep loving whoever I am every day, and then once I love myself, I can also love other people freely too. And that's a cool blessing, you know? So, yeah. My name is Andreas Wyder, ANDREASWYDER.
Great. Just wanted to make sure you knew how to spell it.